GH spoilers. Heather and Esme's shocking reunion convinces Mom to help with revenge. General Hospital, GH, spoilers reveal that while Esme Prince, Avery Pohl, met her demise when she and Spencer Cassadine, Nicholas Chevs, tumbled overboard on a cruise in France. Like everything other character who has passed on in soaps, there's still a chance she could return. As no bodies were found, will she give her mom, Heather Weber, Allie Mills, a shock of a lifetime by showing up in Sedona, very much alive? General Hospital spoilers. Fans should always expect the unexpected GH spoilers remind fans that after Heather was released from prison, she quickly left the land of Port Charles, along with Steve Weber, Scott Reeves. She wanted to stay in town for Ace Cassadine's, Jay and Joey Clay, sake, as the little boy is her last remaining connection with her daughter. But thankfully, Steve was able to convince her to start a new life with him in Sedona. Part of this was because Curtis Ashford, Donald Turner, convinced Heather's son to take Heather with him. Still, GH viewers couldn't help but feel as if they'd see Heather again at some point. And with all the casting changes on the show, there's always a chance that Heather could pop back up on the canvas. Especially since Heather doesn't know the role Curtis played in ensuring she left Port Charles. Still, Heather is reformed, so how could she make an explosive comeback and cause chaos? GH spoilers. Esme Prince seeks Heather Weber out. If Esme is still alive, there's a good chance that it's taken months for her to recover from going overboard in France. Someone may have found her shortly after her accident and helped her with her injuries, and upon her recovery, Esme may be ready to strike back. Esme has no other friends in the world at this point but her mom. While Laura Collins, Jenny Francis, had developed a nice relationship with the girl, as Esme followed Spencer and Trina to Paris with revenge plans on her mind, she blew any friendship with Laura out of the water. Trina was Esme's target in Paris, but sadly, in an effort to protect her, Spencer fell victim to Esme's scheme. Losing Spencer was hard on Laura, and she would never help or trust Esme again. GH spoilers. Could Esme Prince reunite with Heather Weber off-screen in Sedona? While her mom has reformed herself, thanks to the discovery of cobalt poison in her hip that has been removed, it's still easy to think that Esme could convince Heather to help her strike back at those who have done her wrong. The two could concoct a plan to head back to Port Charles, get Ace back, and create a ton of drama along the way. While Heather is yearning for a new chapter, the idea of building a relationship with both her daughter and grandson may intrigue her enough to tap back into her dark side. Esme Prince sat alone in her studio apartment, the walls closing in like the remnants of a dark past she couldn't escape. Her life in Port Charles had always been complicated, filled with manipulation, deceit, and carefully orchestrated chaos. But now she was on her own. No trust fund, no allies, and no sense of direction. Ace, her sweet little boy, was the only tether she had to reality. The thought of him kept her grounded, kept her sane. But deep down, Esme knew she couldn't let her past go unanswered. The envelope sitting on her coffee table seemed out of place amidst the clutter of baby toys and half-empty coffee cups. It was plain, unassuming, but Esme's name scrawled across the front in a familiar looping script sent a chill down her spine. She hesitated before opening it, her hands trembling. The note inside was cryptic yet unmistakable. Meet me. Docks. Midnight. You owe me. Esme recognized the handwriting immediately. Heather Weber. Her mother. The woman who had turned her life upside down before vanishing just as quickly as she'd appeared. Esme had spent months pretending Heather didn't exist, pushing down the memories of their twisted dynamic. But Heather wasn't someone you ignored. She was a hurricane in human form, and ignoring her only made the storm stronger. As the clock struck midnight, Esme approached the docks, her heart pounding in her chest. The night air was cold, biting through her thin jacket. Heather stood waiting, her figure cloaked in shadows. She exuded the same unnerving energy Esme remembered, a mix of danger and allure that made her both captivating and terrifying. "Well, well," Heather said, her voice dripping with amusement. "Look who decided to show up." Esme crossed her arms, keeping her distance. "What do you want?" Heather took a step closer, her piercing eyes locking onto Esme's. "Oh, sweetie, don't be like that. I'm your mother. I thought we could reconnect." "I don't need you in my life," Esme snapped. "Not after everything you've done." Heather laughed, a chilling sound that echoed off the water. "Done? Oh, darling, we've all done things we're not proud of. But I didn't come here to talk about the past. I came here to talk about your future." Esme frowned. "What are you talking about?" "I know what they've done to you," Heather said, her tone shifting to something darker. "Those people in Port Charles, Spencer, Nicholas, Ava, they've used you, discarded you like trash. And you're just going to let them get away with it." Esme's stomach twisted. Heather had a way of cutting straight to the truth, digging into wounds Esme thought had healed. "I'm not like you," Esme said quietly. "I don't hurt people for fun." "Oh, please," Heather scoffed. "You've got the blood of a Weber running through your veins. Don't tell me you don't feel the fire, the need to set things right. They took everything from you, Esme. Your reputation, your son. They turned you into a villain. Why not give them what they want?" Esme hesitated. There was a part of her, a small, shameful part, that agreed with Heather. She did want revenge. She wanted Spencer to know what it felt like to lose everything, to be powerless. But could she really trust Heather to help her? Heather's idea of revenge usually involved bloodshed, and Esme wasn't sure she was ready to cross that line. "What's your plan?" Esme asked, her voice cautious. Heather grinned, sensing victory. "I thought you'd never ask." Over the next few days, Heather and Esme met in secret, plotting their next moves. Heather was a master manipulator, her mind working in ways Esme couldn't fully comprehend. She had a knack for finding people's weaknesses, exploiting them with surgical precision. And while Esme hated to admit it, she found herself drawn to her mother's dark charisma. Heather's plan was bold, almost reckless. It involved digging up dirt on the Cassadine family, exposing their secrets, and turning their world upside down. Spencer was the main target, but Heather had grander ambitions. She wanted to dismantle the entire web of power and privilege that had kept the Cassadines on top for so long. "You're going to need to get close to Spencer again," Heather told Esme during one of their late-night meetings. "He's the key to all of this." Esme shook her head. "He'll never trust me. Not after everything that's happened." "Then make him trust you," Heather said, her tone sharp. "You're a beautiful, intelligent young woman. Use that brain of yours. Use your charm. He's just a boy playing at being a man. Manipulating him should be child's play." Esme bit her lip, torn between her desire for revenge and her lingering feelings for Spencer. He had hurt her, yes, but he had also been one of the few people who had truly seen her, even if it was only for a fleeting moment. Could she really betray him again? Meanwhile, Heather had her own agenda. While Esme worked on re-establishing her connection with Spencer, Heather began sowing seeds of chaos elsewhere. She paid a visit to Ava Jerome, dropping cryptic hints about Nicholas's disappearance, and making veiled threats about what might happen if Ava didn't play along. Ava, never one to back down from a fight, confronted Heather, her eyes blazing with fury. "If you think you can intimidate me, you're sorely mistaken." Heather smirked, unbothered by Ava's defiance. "Oh, I'm not here to intimidate you, dear. I'm here to offer you a deal." Help me, and I'll make sure the truth about Nicholas stays buried. Refuse, and, well, let's just say the past has a way of coming back to haunt you. Ava's jaw tightened, but she didn't respond, her silence speaking volumes. Heather had struck a nerve, and she knew it. As the weeks went on, Esme found herself sinking deeper into her mother's web. She played her part perfectly, reeling Spencer in with carefully chosen words and subtle acts of vulnerability. He began to soften, his walls crumbling as old feelings resurfaced. But with every step closer to Spencer, Esme felt a growing sense of unease. She wasn't sure if she was playing him or if she was the one being played. Heather, on the other hand, thrived in the chaos she was creating. She reveled in the power, the thrill of pulling the strings from behind the scenes. But even she couldn't predict how far things would spiral out of control. The night of the Cassadine Gala was meant to be the culmination of their plan. Heather had orchestrated everything, from the guest list to the distractions that would keep the family occupied. Esme's role was simple: steal a flash drive containing incriminating evidence on the Cassadines and deliver it to Heather. But things didn't go as planned. As Esme crept through Windermere, the weight of her actions finally hit her. She saw the family portraits on the walls, the legacy Spencer was trying to uphold, and she hesitated. Could she really destroy him like this?